I personally know how exhausting it is to create content for the holidays, but it doesn't need to be that way for you. So stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about how to get your content organized, how to shoot it, what type of content to create, and how to get the inspiration behind the content that you're wanting to present on the holidays, and how to personalize that and connect that with your community. Hello, my name is Janet Gomez, and I'm the founder of Jan Spring Design, where we do social media management and product styling. I'm also a mom of two very hyper and amazing little girls. And this business pretty much stemmed from me wanting to support small businesses, and it has grown to what it is now. So I totally understand what you mean about being anxiety driven, especially I manage about 15 accounts. So you can imagine how I feel creating content, especially when it's all the captions, researching the hashtags, and actually putting the content together. And my first advice would be to just get organized. If you don't have a content calendar at the moment, it would be to create your content calendar. If you don't have a place where all of your content lives, definitely create that. Because if you're just emailing your content or just working like pretty much day by day, that's where you catch yourself probably not posting or just not being organized at all. So when you have your content calendar organized and you have all your actual content all living in one place, this is where everything just kind of flows, and it pretty much works on its own when you dedicate time for it. So I usually recommend for people to start organizing all this the last 2 weeks of the month. Do the last three if you need more time for all that, but definitely have like a time and place for yourself. And I always tell people, treat your business like you are willing to treat your clients or your customers. For example, like me, that I do social media management, right? You would think that I do exactly the same for my business page, but ask me how many times I've done that. Probably once or twice. So it's always just smart to, I would say, work smarter and not harder. So give yourself back the time that you need by getting yourself organized. And the way to kind of plan that out is come up with a plan to highlight all of your products and services. You have to post on social media as if people know nothing about your business. I can't tell you how many times I've had like clients that they offer a specific product or service, and I wasn't even aware of it. Why? Because they don't share it on their social media. So even though it's on your website and you think people know, people don't. Just assume they know nothing. So make sure you're always highlighting, especially your best sellers or a new service that you have that you probably have up on your website, but you don't have up on your social media. And to make things easier, like highlight posts according to theme days that you put together, whether it's educational, maybe a national holiday, a day that you're going to promote your new services or products. That way it makes it easier. So let's say for my clients, I post Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, right? Mondays could sometimes be motivational theme. Wednesdays could be like wellness Wednesday. And then Friday could just be dedicated to like promoting like a service or a product or whatnot. So just always, and then once you have your themes down, you're like, okay, what type of content is that going to be? Is that going to be a carousel? Is that going to be a static post? Is that going to be a reel? So once you determine that, then you go on to the next step. So what are the days or day that I'm going to dedicate to shoot this content? And you just need to put it down your calendar. Don't say, oh, I'm going to wait to this day, or I'm going to do it on Saturday for sure. Just dedicate the time, and you'll be surprised how fast you can go through actually creating content when you actually plan everything out. It could probably take you 3 hours or less to plan out a whole month of like content. So that's the way I would recommend. Schedule it, put it down, and just shoot it and just get yourself organized. So for the holidays, this is the perfect way to start planning way ahead of time. Right now we're in September, and I feel like Halloween is already like sold out. I went into Target and they already have like some Christmas decor out. Costco has all of the Christmas decor out, and I'm just like, what is going on? But as a small business, sometimes we think like, oh, it's too soon. It's too soon. Like, I'm not going to sell anything. But in reality, we should be thinking that big. We should be thinking just in terms of how are these retail stores selling their product. We should be on that level as well. So the holidays are the perfect way to have like a personal connection with your potential clients or customers, because again, it's an emotional sense what the holidays bring to us all. So for example, if you create ornaments, I would make an emotional connection with how you can get together as a family and create a new tradition with the ornaments that you sell. Another way that you can plan around the holidays, this is the perfect opportunity to give back to like a good cause. And people love, love, love when you give back to like causes. Maybe a percentage of your sales, or at the end of the season can go towards a foundation of some sort. And always give love to other businesses that are also, you know, selling or promoting holiday themed items or services. This is a great way to be able to collaborate with someone. Perfect with so festively, right? With festively to putting together these beautiful arranged themed ideas, or a fun photo shoot that you can put together with different vendors and their items. And then create holiday fun themed giveaways. Like for example, Festively, that's doing their 5-day holiday challenge. I think that is an amazing way to contribute back into the community. So what are some ways that you can really get a hone in on in this holiday season, and not only do like fun giveaways, but fun ways to also contribute back to your community? This is also the perfect opportunity for you to include fun call to actions to your post. How is it going to be relatable? Always try to encourage people to tag like their friends, someone that would share the ornaments with, or if you're a baker, someone you would share a cake with. So this is a great way for you to include your community and fun levels of just like, oh, link in bio, you know, to purchase. Like, what are some other ways that you can incorporate where you can get people to tag others, and that way you have their audience eyes, you have their audience's eyes on your page.
I love all of that. And you reminded me, so a 5-day challenge is not, or 3-day challenge or whatever it is, it's not something we created, right? We see these with other experts all the time, and we participate in a lot of them. We learn so much, and we love to share and pass that along. So I'm going to share one that I learned today, actually. Janelle Copeland with the Cake Mamas, who is a really well-known baker, and she had a really wonderful bakery, and they've shut it down since the pandemic, but now she's doing consulting for other cake and treats makers, right? So she's fabulous. Check her out. She gave an example this morning of captions, and kind of like what you were describing, Janet. So she said that she came up with this, one of her vendors gave her these giant marshmallows, and he was like, here you go for free, like do something with them. And so she had these long sticks, like a marshmallow, you know, sticks when you like go camping or whatnot for s'mores. And so she came up with this idea of creating a like putting the sticks, like dipping them in chocolate and kind of making them really cute. But she's like, I didn't, yeah, she's like, but I didn't just put it on my like website, like, or my social media to say chocolate dipped marshmallows or something like that, right? Like she's like, it wasn't enough of a compelling reason to buy. And then she had the idea of like making it into more of like a wand, like a cute little, like putting some decorations and adding some string so it looked like a cute little wand. So even then she was like, I didn't want to, yeah, it's cute, right? And she's like, even then I didn't want to just put like, oh, cute wand or whatever, the marshmallow wand. Like there wasn't, you know, dipped in chocolate. Like that sounds good as a creator, but what are you igniting in their emotion or imagination or feeling?
What's the story you're telling behind it? Right?
And it's not easy, you know, it's like where we get really stuck, but sometimes, you know, you can bounce ideas off people and get it. So here's what she ended up saying. She said she had a little girl who came into the shop like using the wand, and they did like a boomerang. And then she said like every little girl dreams of becoming a princess when they grow up. Who's a princess in your life that would love a chocolate wand like this or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Very brief. It wasn't like a huge story, but she ignited like a feeling and a you could picture somebody that you would want to give this to. And so anyhow, I just thought that was a cool example of some way to reposition like your content to do exactly
You
that.
automatically bring in like that personal connection
Exactly.
between someone. Like with me, right when you said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would have, like my daughter, like she would love a wand like that. So there's always a need for something when it comes to like a product or a service. Like who would enjoy this? And that reminds me, if you have like a picnic set up, a picnic business, like what girlfriends would you invite if you have like a holiday themed party? And automatically I would want to bring all my girlfriends, right? Because who doesn't like a cute holiday themed picnic? So it just brings things like that. Like, don't just try to sell the item, try to connect it back, try to say a story, try to really do that personalization where you would grab your audience's eyes, and they're gonna want that item because they can see themselves in it, or they can see themselves with their family or their friends or any type of other personal connection you can make from there. I love this. And I say yes, yes, yes. At the end of the day, for example, if you do balloon garlands, there's like 100 other balloon garland businesses, right? So you want to make sure that you are showing your face, you are showing who you are to your audience, and you want to make that personal connection. Again, going back to storytelling, if I were to show a personal photo, actually recently I'm thinking about posting on Jasper Design, where I first started off as a fashion jewelry merchandiser and designer, and just how far I've come. Because again, so many people can connect to that. So many people, and this is 6, 7 years in the making that I've been able to do my business. And how many more people have been wanting to do just that, and it's not an easy journey. This didn't happen overnight. Another example, maybe if you again, going back to the ornament business, right? Maybe you have a little picture of yourself when you were little, of you decorating your tree with your family, and you have ornaments, and you can say a whole story around that of reflection. You can say of how when you were little, how much you loved decorating your Christmas tree with your family, and it was something you look forward to. And now it has become a business of yours, and now you do custom made ornaments for other families, and you love to see all these new memories being created based on the product that you have created for this family. So 100% always try to share an emotional connection with your past, or what has led you to this point where you're at right now. I think at the end of the day, you have to do so. Like, if you stand by it and it's that important to you, you stand by it 100%. Not caring what others have to say or what their opinions are. Because your audience, whoever really loves you and your community and what you stand for, they're going to be there to support you 100%, even if they agree with you or not. I think there's just boundaries where if you're really passionate, like you mentioned, like the Black Lives Matter, let's say somebody else didn't support it. At the end of the day, we all just need to respect one another. And if you're really passionate about that, you post about that. And that is what your business stands for. And also, where does your community stand on a lot of things? We can't stay mute on important events that happen around the world, because it's just impossible. As a small business, we also have a lot of responsibility towards not just what the product or services that we sell, but also towards our community. That is, the community ultimately is what brings in the business, right? So you want to also respect them in a way where if there is something really important going on and you don't really reflect on it or highlight it, then it's almost to reevaluate where you stand as well as a business, and say, and again, a lot of pressure goes with that. I 100% understand, right? But if you have enough people behind you standing by you and supporting you, then it shouldn't matter at the end of the day what you are talking about or what you highlight. You just need the right people in your corner. You don't need anybody. You just need the right people in your corner. You don't need everybody in it.
And just last word on that, I think, unless anyone else has something, but I think that's where we're trying to steer towards that authentic self piece as well. I know that that's something that is, Instagram used to be only about like all social media. I'm just saying Instagram, but like just in general, it used to be all about like the perfect photo, and it's still wonderful to highlight that. But we've seen a bigger shift and trend toward authenticity. And so sometimes that means having a different opinion, like you said. So we're all getting there. It's a journey for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to the authentic part, I know there's a lot of pressure on how you come across more authentic. And I love my feed to look pretty, right? Like I want my pretty pictures there. But stories is the perfect opportunity to show up for who you are and show up with the mess. And I love especially sharing that on my stories about my entrepreneur journey. And like I have a daughter sleeping on the floor on a cushion, and I might have been crying later on that day. I love sharing those things because it's so relatable and it's so important. Any, not just the holidays, any, all the time, all year round. It's just so important to show up on stories for who you really are, because when you show up and you show, I guarantee people are going to relate back to you. And social media in a way is almost, it's a liar. It takes away sometimes from inspiration, because you see all these squares, all these pretty created pictures, and you think, oh my gosh, like I do not have that life. So at the end of the day, we're just trying to survive and trying to be our best selves. But when you show up as who you are, this is where you really attract your community, and you're able to be relatable to your audience, and not only gain more followers to that, but also gain engagement, because you are being your authentic self, and nobody else can be that but you. So I know videos are very tough right now. I understand the stress that comes with that with reels, but reels really don't have to be that tough. Um, I usually, when I create reels, it's really just 3-second clips that I like to record and just put all together. Like there shouldn't be a lot of pressure. I really stick with themes. Like if it's like a 3-second clip, I can put those together. Or like on my business page, I love to post time lapse, and those do great for me. I love to view time lapse videos, so that's a great recommendation. You don't really have to do anything on your part. It's literally just standing and doing what you're doing, kind of like behind the scenes. If you're cleaning your office, maybe, or if you're creating this amazing backdrop, a time lapse video goes a long way, and people love to see how 45 minutes really gets condensed into 20 seconds. So just with videos, I recommend that. I use the platform called Splice. It's really user friendly, and I create all my reels on there. They have free music as well. The platform's free, and I absolutely love it. I do tend to create reels on the Instagram platform, but here and there, but sometimes my page collapses or it closes down on me, and then I'm there left crying with like no draft, nothing, after like 2 hours of working on it. So I definitely recommend you use an outside platform or an app that you feel comfortable with. When it comes to photos, I know photos are my love language. I mean, I was so in love with Instagram because of the photography aspect of it. Not that I don't like video, but for photos, I recommend good lighting. You can't go wrong with good lighting. And I stay away from any type of heavy filters. When you put heavy filters, it changes drastically the color of your product. Even if it's just a picture of you, just try to keep it very natural looking. I tend to just add a little bit of saturation, brightness, and that's about it. And I use the platform, the app A Color Story for all of my pictures. I absolutely love it, and I've been using it for years, and it has never disappointed me. And use props. Don't stress yourself when you're trying to plan a photo shoot for your items or your products. Don't stress that you need to spend so much money, right, on styling your items, because in reality, you don't. Go to your local Dollar Tree store, your 99-cent store, and I almost can guarantee you have all the props you need inside your home. So, for example, right now for the holidays, get props that you have at home already, the decor that you use around your house, and just really try to use that to help you with your photo shoot. When it comes to like paper backdrops, I use Amazon. Actually, Amazon, they have really good deals on backdrops that you can use, but I have literally used the like project paper poster paper that you can get at the Dollar Tree. I've used that so many times for my flat lays. I've used foam paper, which is again $1 at the Dollar Tree. So you really don't have to spend hundreds of dollars when creating these perfect pictures for your social media. And the perfect way to get your picture perfect holiday curated images for your social media, I'm collaborating in partnership with Festively by the end of this month on the 25th. It's going to be an in-person workshop, and it's going to be so hands-on. Again, this is my love language. I love helping small businesses, and I know we are going to get the perfect images, even if we can't get our goal is to get your whole content for the whole holidays, but it's really for you to help you long term. What are the tips that you're going to learn that day that you'll be able to establish going forward? Some last tips I would recommend to staying organized is writing your to-dos the night before. So that's something that I actually started implementing recently, and I absolutely love it. Instead of scrambling the morning of, like, And our minds have so many tabs open. I have like a million at a time. So I'm just like, okay, Janet, you need to write everything down. And I usually like to get all my to-dos organized the night before. Like, this is what I need to do for this client. This is what I need to shoot. I need to email, invoice, whatever that is. Write them down the day before. That way, that day, the next day, you wake up and you already have everything organized instead of trying to scrambling again what's going on in your mind, right? And don't wait until last minute to do things. I know we can waste a lot of time scrolling through social media instead of be doing other things. And then last minute, I'm just like, oh, dang, I've spent like an hour, when I should have been doing this. And it's so important to stay on top of everything. For me, balance doesn't exist. It just doesn't. Well, if I'm playing with my girls, I'm probably not texting a client back. I'm probably not emailing someone back. If I'm emailing, working, the dishes are not getting done, laundry's not getting done, the house is a mess. And that's okay. That is perfectly okay. But it's so important to manage and to prioritize your day. And your social media content is just as important. Nowadays, people tend to go straight to social media versus going to someone's website first, which is crazy. I'm guilty of that. If I see a place that I want to go to, I will go to their social media first instead of their website. It's just how things are. So you want to make sure you're being consistent on there, you're showing your things, you're really displaying your products and your services in a way that are going to highlight just as how much love and attention you put into everything that you create. Again, and anything that you're selling or your products and services, make sure they are highlighted on your social media pages. Like, again, you have to assume that everybody knows nothing about your business. So if you have a service you want to promote, if you have a new product you want to promote, make sure you highlight it on your social media to make your life easier. And you will be so surprised how people are like, oh, I didn't know you offer this, or oh, I didn't know you had this product. So bam, you're getting sales without even realizing what you could have been getting this entire time. One of the main things that I've done for myself is hire before I am ready. And that is another tip I love to share, because in reality, we are never ready. We're never ready to start that service. We're never ready to launch a new product, start that business, or even hire, which is something that I've just started doing. I'm going to be currently onboarding a part-time worker these upcoming weeks for Jan Spring Design. And I'm so excited, even though I'm not ready. I am doing it because I have no more bandwidth to accept new clients. So come in the next few months or the beginning of next year, I'm going to be accepting new clients because I'm going to get back the time that I need in order to give back to my clients. So I'm so excited for that. If you're interested in my services, stay tuned and I'll be announcing that. And my very last one would be to get your space organized. When I have a mess around me, I understand the house is one thing, right? But I'm just talking about the space where you work, your desk. Make sure it's organized. You feel in a way that you want to be in a space that you feel like you're organized, you get inspiration, and you're ready to create. I know a lot of times people feel it's impossible to have a desk, there's no space, but you don't need a whole office space. Just a little corner, even inside your kid's room or inside your bedroom, in the living room, wherever that may be. Just make sure you have a space for yourself that you can go to and start creating. Things I want to give a plug to was what I already mentioned, the workshop, the in-person workshop that we have going on at the end of this month, which I'm really, really excited about. Also, just make sure to follow me on my personal page at Jans_Spring. Right there, I talk about all my family travels, adventures, and I love talking about my entrepreneurship journey. And also follow my business page at Jan Spring Design. And I have some very exciting projects coming up. And I can't wait to share it all. So stay tuned there.